Hello, hello. Just waiting for a couple people here. We'll get started. Today is January 2nd, 2025, and we are here for the first Bricks and Beyond episode of 2025. I'd like to wish everybody a very happy New Year's. For those of you that might be joining for the first time, Bricks and Beyond is a showcase series that focuses on individual members of the LEGO community. Each episode of the series gives you a personalized look at the person behind the account. Tonight's guest is a United States Marine Corps veteran, a podcast host, an ambassador to our LEGO community, and an all-around good guy that's just living the California dream. Without further ado, let me introduce to you, as some of you may know him, SHYTIME is my time, or you might just know him as Shy. I always get nervous when I add people in. Sometimes I feel like it's not going to work. There he is.
Hey,
How
how's
are
it going?
you? Good. How about yourself?
Good.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's. This is weird. I've never done this like on a phone.
You know what? I don't know any different. So to me, it's another day in the office. What do you usually use? Do you use a camera?
Yeah, I have a whole DSLR set up right here, so like
Yeah. Okay.
I have all that soundboards
Yep.
there and
Well, hey,
lights
if
right
you
there. But
if you have some free time and want to travel across the country, I'll buy you dinner and you can help me set up a big display.
I mean, I can help. I can just tell you over the phone.
But that would
All
be
of it.
boring. Come visit Pittsburgh. You've probably never been out this way, have you?
Yeah, I would love to make it in Pittsburgh because I've never been there. So
Well, there's a lot of good things. So, if you're ever finding yourself looking for something to do, let me know and I'll give you a tour around the city.
I'll
So,
hold you
if
to
you
that.
if you like beer or breweries, we got lots of that out here. We have a lot of mountains. Can't really tell you much else, but
Well, I mean. I need to make it to Pennsylvania eventually because in Philly, I know it's not Pittsburgh, but that's where the Marine Corps was
Yep.
born. And I heard they're actually I don't know if it's legit or not, but they're rebuilding the Ton Tavern. That's where the actual Marine Corps was born in a bar. Right
Yeah.
now, it's only a sign. So
Yeah. I know my dad was talking about that a while back because he's in a couple of the veteran groups, and I can't remember what he was saying, but I'll have to ask him about that to see what's going on with that. But yeah, I mean, obviously you need to pass through Pittsburgh to get to Philly, so you know,
yeah. I mean, I've only
welcome
been
to
to
the
the
bird.
Northeast once, so I need to do more trips.
Yeah. Well, hey, East Coast would love to have you. So how's the weather today? What's it like out by
It
you?
it was actually pretty nice today. It was a good 72 degrees where I was. So. It's just perfect weather.
Yeah, it's a good 20 degrees over here. So, what's the coldest you guys usually get out your way?
Well, it's gonna be chilly tonight because I have a tortoise. I have a Sakata
Oh,
tortoise. He's like 5 years old, so he's like this
oh
big.
wow. Okay.
But if it hits below 30 or 35, I have to bring him inside because I don't have like a
Okay.
heating source out there.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be one of those nights, like around 2 o'clock in the morning. It's gonna hit like 40
Uh,
degrees.
oh, gotcha.
So I
Okay.
might need to grab him. But right now he's kind of burrowing to like where my gas is, my
Okay.
gas line.
Okay.
So like where the heater is. So I
Yeah.
think it'll be fine. But
Okay.
I'll see.
Now, how
It's gonna
did
be
you?
cold tonight. Sure.
Yeah. So how did you get into having a tortoise?
My my son
Okay.
really loves animals like altogether.
Sure.
Reptiles more than anything. So
Yeah.
we've made a couple attempts with tortoises.
Okay.
We've had leopard tortoises. We had a baby leopard tortoise and a baby sulcata tortoise, and they both didn't make it.
Okay.
So I was just like, no, let me get one that's kind of I can leave outside and it's pretty much self-sustaining. And we picked one up when it was like 3 years old, four
Okay.
years old.
Okay. Okay.
and now he's 7. He's exactly as the same age as my son.
Oh,
So,
wow. Oh,
um,
good. Then
yeah.
you'll never forget either one of their
No,
ages.
no, no, no. So, but he's getting pretty big. I know it's a male now.
Okay.
But when we first got him, we weren't sure based on the size. But now that he's getting bigger and more, like certain parts of its shell is kind of like dented in. It's a dude. So like,
Interesting.
uh, for a while we were just calling it they because we didn't know. But like,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's cool. So, but either way, best animal pet ever because you don't do anything.
I always wanted a turtle, but I never, tortoise is like a whole new
A turtle's a
world.
lot of work because you need
Yeah.
a pond,
Yep.
you need to do all that kind of stuff. A tortoise, you just got to make sure you have grass, shade, and occasional water every now and then, and it kind of just takes care of itself. Like it leaves you
Yeah.
alone, it leaves you alone, and you just kind of let it walk around like a dinosaur.
Well, that sounds like a great first pet then for your son, because if there's not a lot of maintenance, then
No,
I mean, it's a responsibility, but still not as much as a dog or something like that.
I
So
mean, don't get me wrong. We have a dog too. We've had dogs before. So he's had a dog before. Like my dog that I had since I was like joined the Marine Corps. So I got back from Iraq in 2006.
okay,
So I bought a dog then, or not really a dog. I adopted a dog then, and then that dog stuck with me from that point. So from when I was 18, no 19, all
okay.
the way up until my daughter was born,
Oh
and
wow,
he hung around just a couple months after my daughter was born, and then I had to
yeah,
put him down. But he
yeah,
lasted. He went through every single trial and tribulation, every
sure,
every breakup, every life choice, going through college, getting my moving out, getting in and out of the Marine Corps, marriage, first son, daughter, buying a house, and
yeah,
then when once out, he was always there for me. So he would like that was like my
yeah,
dog, the one thing
yeah,
that was
yeah,
constant in
yep,
my entire
yep.
life. But like he wasn't good around children at all, like
Uh,
his entire life
okay,
until
yeah.
my son was born, and that
Oh,
kind of flipped the switch. It was really
oh,
funny.
interesting.
So yeah, like he would protect them like when he was a baby to his toddler. But like yeah, once my daughter came out, and then like all my attention was to that. That was when my dog was like, I think it's time. I think you're good. So yeah, but
Yeah,
but,
it's
but
sad, but
it's
yeah,
sad. I still I'm about to cry right now because I miss him so
yeah,
much. But we have a dog too, and that's their dog.
okay, okay,
She's a lot of work, but she's
yeah.
good either way.
What's the interaction between dog and tortoise?
None.
None. Okay,
I mean, like the dog will like occasionally just kind of check on the tortoise, but
okay.
the tortoise if it feels threatened, it just gets into its
Yeah, yeah,
shell, and then that's
yeah.
pretty
Okay.
much it.
Ah, hey,
Um,
don't we all get in our shells when we first
I
find
know. No, I know, but it's a tank. It's like it's not like a little thing. It's like this,
Yeah, yeah,
monstrosity of a
yeah.
reptile. Kind of like if you're not paying attention, it will break your ankles because it will just run right through you.
Oh man, I did not expect that was I did not. Did you ever post anything about the
Yeah,
tortoise?
I mean, you'll see it occasionally. I think the last time I actually posted something to do with the tortoise was in a YouTube video, in my Clone Army video, which is probably like I think like last year,
Okay.
late last, maybe the year before, like or late the year before. But you'll see the tortoise like punching through like the um the clone tanks. I
Yeah.
forgot what they're called.
Yep.
So like yeah, I had a shield of boxes and just kind of pushed right through it. So I think that was the last time I used it. I really want to build a Lego turret
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and just slap it on this, tape it on its
That would be
shell.
awesome.
I've yet to do it though, but it's definitely something that I gotta wait till it's a little warmer because when it's cold, it just kind of just brumates
Yeah. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Well, I'm fully in support of that. So.
Peter's not gonna like
Um.
it, sure, but I'm
Yeah. So how was your Christmas and the kids? Did you guys have any Lego sets you wanted, or anything special they wanted, or anything?
well. All I wanted was a PS5, and I didn't get that.
Ah,
But
bummer. Okay.
the kids got what they wanted from Santa. We bought them also. We also bought them bicycles each. We bought them the little Guardian bikes because that kind of helps them
Yeah.
ride a bicycle without training wheels. So they've been doing that. So Santa's been great to
Good.
them. I
You
I
must have been on the naughty list.
yeah, I didn't get squat.
I tried to tell my son that. I said, do not grow up. Like you don't realize it's such a cliche thing, but you don't realize like how much like there's just I don't know, it's just not special anymore the older you get.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He's like, why didn't Santa bring you anything? I said, I must have been on the naughty list, I guess.
Well, I mean, like, well, to be fair, like my daughter is also born like right after Christmas, so like
Oh,
we have
okay.
to, any
Yeah.
money that I obtain to get myself a gift
Yeah.
kind of just funnels back into like her birthday
I
party.
get it. Yeah.
So that's it's been like that since she was born. So
I get it.
yeah, my my birthday's also in December, so like anything I
That's a
get for
packed
my birthday
month.
and December
Oh,
just straight
yeah.
straight.
Yeah. So are you guys the believers? Because I know this is a big controversy. Do you bulk the holidays or do you still separate them individually?
So for me, as a kid, I would get one present for both the birthday, and I
Yep.
hated it as a child.
Yep.
But as I got older, I would be like, okay, if you're gonna get me one gift, make it worth it.
Yeah.
And you're like, give me a Super Nintendo, give me the
Yeah.
Sega Genesis, give me the large, Western set. Like
Yep.
that's what I did.
Yep.
My daughter's a long way
Yeah.
from that, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we make an effort as my wife and I to separate it.
Yeah.
So you know, not me. We just go out to dinner and I'm done for like that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
it's Christmas, so we do so my wife's Mexican, so we celebrate Christmas Eve more than Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we go to my in-laws or they come here, wherever we do Christmas Eve. We, have dinner, we open presents, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then they come here, I put them to sleep. Santa shows up, gets all this stuff out, and then they do the whole Christmas the next day. But then
Gotcha.
my daughter's birthday, obviously she can't really do a birthday party on that day, on the day after Christmas,
Yeah.
because no one's gonna come.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yep.
we do it the weekend
Okay.
after Christmas. So and
Gotcha.
like kind of after, depending on where it falls into the week, it could be right after Thanksgiving, sorry, right after New Year's, or right after Christmas on that
Okay.
weekend. It kind of sucks too because not everybody can show up
Yeah.
still, so she gets kind
Yeah.
of
It's
yeah.
I know it's a rough time of year, but well, at least I mean for the kids, most of the time they still off typically.
Yeah, they're off. They got 3 weeks off from school. That's ridiculous.
Holy how when did they start getting off?
They got out of school like 2.5 weeks ago, so they're back next Monday.
Wow.
But like, yeah, I didn't. I remember the first time I was like 3 weeks. What?
Lucky you.
What are we gonna do for 3 weeks?
My son, he was funny because I asked him that he went back today and they were off the Friday before Christmas, and he actually told me he said he was like I think I'm actually ready to go back, and I said I
Me
am
too.
too.
Me too. Go back to school.
Do your kids like how old are your kids if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, they're 7 and 5.
Okay, so my son's 7 too. Um, are your kids like, are they content with life or are they always bored and nothing appeases them?
That.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. Like when I was little, I feel like we always kept ourselves busy, and now it's just like,
Well, we didn't have phones
they,
and
yeah,
tablets to always keep
I,
our minds stimulated.
yeah,
So that's the thing. It's like when we do road trips and stuff, because we like, my wife and I like to take them on road trips and stuff like that. So like once that iPhone dies, once
yeah,
the Switch dies or the iPad dies,
yep, game over.
it's like, what do you do, right? Well, we would tell them like, well, look out the window and
Yeah,
figure it out, because
yep,
that's what you're gonna have to deal with the next 3 hours. Sometimes it works or they knock out, but we yeah, they just can't seem to self entertain
no,
as
nope,
easily. I'm not saying they don't, because they have a lot of toys. Like my kids are spoiled with toys, but
yeah,
like it's overflowing. Like Katie was just here, King Katie,
yeah,
and like my daughter like brought her to the room. I was like, oh, that's like the one part of the house we didn't clean.
yeah,
And it's just right after her birthday party, so it's like a hodgepodge. It's like a mess. I'm like, damn.
yeah. That's the
But
room everything gets shoved into, right?
yeah, just threw everything in there. And then I was like, wow, we cleaned everything in the house except for that room.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Hey,
Oh yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
Katie.
Hey, Katie, how are you? Yeah.
I was like,
So she
she's
knows
gonna go in there.
she
It's like
can
a hot,
vouch
like
for you there.
it's like a hot mess in there. I'm like, wow. Of course you're gonna bring it to your room. You bring everyone to your room.
Yeah.
So
They know exactly what to do, and it's always typically things we don't want them to
I
do.
know. Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, Katie, you came like right after like her birthday, so the house is technically trashed.
Well, hey, we're all human, right? So We try to clean up, but it's not always easy.
Yeah, it's
So
not, especially when it's because like I remember like before I left to go pick her up, the house was like tidied a little bit. And I got back and then my son has like the chair here and his food over there and he's like half upside down with his Switch and I'm like and the couch is all like jacked up. I'm like, wow, I couldn't even last like 30 minutes.
yep.
Like not even 30 minutes.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. So you're not the only one. So
Yeah, you know, kids can't keep anything clean. So, you know, it's like
nope.
sometimes we just like yell at them, like clean up the house, and they're like, ah, so they frantically run around and put everything away, and then like 2 minutes later, it's back to where it is.
Yeah, they do try. We'll give them credit for that, but
Mhm.
then it just like you said, it goes back to
Yeah,
what
it
it
goes
is.
back. It is what it is.
All right, so let's get into some Lego chat here because I feel like you're always on this end of the seat. But now it's time to dig into you. All right. So first of all, before I get into Lego chat, I want to thank you again for your service. If anybody who's here now missed, Shy is a United States Marine Corps veteran. So if you'd like to thank him for his service, we certainly do appreciate you. Um, but let me get into taking that into Lego chat here. So, you as a kid, all right. What did you do with Lego, if anything, as a kid? When did you start, and do you remember anything that you used to play with? And if not Lego, what did you used to play with when you were little?
No, no, I remember Lego very well. It was like one of the first toys that was just consistent in my life. That and GI
Mhm.
Joe. But
Oh yeah.
like, I got my first Lego set was the Black Knight's Fortress,
Okay.
the castle.
Do you still have
Uh,
it?
no,
Okay.
I'll get into that.
Nope.
It's fun that story. So I was in I think first kindergarten or first grade. That's when I got it. So
Okay.
like 92, 93.
Okay.
And it was a hand me down. It was like my mom's like friend from work kid that didn't want
Sure.
Lego. They just gave it to me. So I didn't have like the box. Like it was just, it was just built already. So, I would take it apart, rebuild it, and that's my first introduction to Lego.
Okay.
So my mom couldn't really afford Lego back then. So
Yeah.
I always used to get a lot of the little battle packs of Castle that are worth like $250 to like $600 now. Oh man. So I'll get a bunch of those, like any like small builds that I can afford. But back then, like it was $9.99 for like a jet,
Yep.
but like it was more like a $25 thing now. But
Sure.
that's like it's still expensive, but it was a little bit obtainable. And then any money that I would earn, I would just put it towards that. So
Okay.
I had this little town like built on my bunk bed.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's like it looked like a hodgepodge. It doesn't even make sense, but to me
To you
it
it
was
did.
it
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every holiday, my dad would ask me what does Santa name 5 things for Santa gave for Christmas, and
Okay.
there was always at least two very big Lego sets on
Sure.
there.
Yep.
And somehow underneath the tree I got one of them, and one of them was the Fort Legoredo, which
Okay.
is in
Yep.
that was like the last big Lego build that I got.
Okay.
So every now and then I play with Lego back then, like how I hope kids play with Lego
Yeah.
now. It's
Yeah.
like you build it and build something totally different, right? So
Yep.
you get the boxes with the 3 different builds on the
Yep.
back.
Oh yeah.
You just kind of do things. So my main play was Last Stand battles.
Okay.
Like like if you think of like playing as a kid, and I know at least for boys like to play Last Stands a lot. You see that meme right now with
Yeah.
Deadpool and boys. This is how we want to go
Yep.
out.
Yep.
And women want to go away quietly
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
their
Yeah. Yeah.
friends, whatever.
Yep. I
Guys
know.
want to go. So that is so true.
That's how it is. Yeah.
We want
Yep.
to go out swinging.
Yep.
So the Fort Legoredo, I would set it up. Have you seen the movie
I
Glory?
have not.
Denzel. It's a Civil War movie with Denzel
Oh yeah.
Washington.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't.
that's
I
like
haven't seen it,
first.
but I remember seeing the cover of it. Yeah.
So I would reenact that same kind of battle scenario with
Okay.
Lego and like little green army men.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay. Yeah.
like the Fort Legoredo was its own little fortress, obviously, and then you would have like a last stand with this swarm of green army men coming
Yeah.
from the
Sure.
sea.
Oh,
So
that's
I
cool.
would play that same scenario like day after day after day, and my mom would get pissed because I would take over the house hallway because you see these ships, and the ships weren't even great. They were just books, like
Yeah.
books with little green
Yeah.
army men like
Yeah.
coming towards the
Oh
thing, and
yeah.
form it, and I would have out for hours out of the day. I would do that. So, and then I saw Independence Day.
Oh gosh.
So so I would do the same thing. Like I would pretend.
Nice.
Do you remember X Team? I think that's what they're called. Racing Team X, Racing X. Oh, I forgot what they're called. But it's a. Anyways, I'd pretend like I'd buy these like little. I'd even get the first snow speeder.
Okay.
I had a few of those, and then like I would reenact Independence Day. Using
Nice.
Lego versus like other, not a non-Lego toy. It was always like Lego versus another toy.
As it should be.
Yeah, I still kind of do that now. My son, like, right now, we'll lay out. Like my son likes to battle it out with my Black Falcon army.
Okay.
So if anyone doesn't know, I've never seen it. I have right now. Currently, I'm at 2,100 Black Falcons. But
Cow.
but when I would do those long battles with my son, it will be like 1,000 or maybe like 800 to 1,000 of them, and then I'll line up the Black Falcons on the base pits on one end. He will line up his dinosaurs on the other end. And then we would just battle it. We literally just go like this.
That's awesome.
And he would take his dinosaurs and literally just go douche, 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 destroy the Falcons like it's cool. And then like other scenarios, like he would set it up and I would get my cavalry and like would charge and destroy him when he's not looking. So we haven't done that in a while. I know he really wants to do it. I'm like, oh, it's such a long setup.
I was gonna say, so where do you guys set that up?
Living room. Against my
nice. Okay.
wishes.
Yep. Okay.
So,
yeah.
But we haven't done that in like years. But
give her money to go get nails done or go get lunch or something like that, and you can have the house for the day.
Right. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, so yeah, as a kid, that's where my Lego story was. Pretty much all of the '90s. I got into like middle school, high school, like early 2000s. So like around that time, I didn't get out of Lego. I just stopped buying it. Obviously,
yeah, sure.
I was just doing other things with my money. I never hid my Lego. Like my wife, who was a friend at the time, then girlfriend at the end of my high school life, she saw my Lego. She saw the town on top of my bed. Like I wasn't ashamed of it. And then when I went to the Marine Corps, all my stuff, like I put everything into like storage.
Uh-oh.
And this is like back in 2004, 5.
Yeah.
When there's no automatic payments.
Oh,
so you can kind of see where that's going. So everything from when I was born all the way up into that point in my life was just in a storage locker in whatever. I left my mom like 12 checks, and then she missed one, and they were trying to contact me, but they can't call me because I don't have a cell phone. This is not like happening now. And then they like auctioned it off. So when I got back to get there, they said it was gone. I literally lit them up. And what they did was technically illegal because they can't do that.
I say for 1 month.
I think it was 2, because I think it was 2. She paid 1, and then it was late, but they were still delinquent on 1. Okay. And it wasn't that she just trying to prepare me to come home. So that was it. So I lost everything. So I had some really good Lego sets in there, which in retrospect. Yeah, it sucks that I lost a lot of it, but what was more important to me back then was like my photos, yearbooks, certificates, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had like an $8,000-9,000 violin in there.
Wow. Holy cow, man! Jeez.
I painted like Warhammer 40K, so like I was really into like Photoshop stuff. So those armies were gone too. But again, like none of that mattered to me. All I really wanted was like my home videos, my photos, all that kind of stuff. So because I lost everything, like going to a Lego store after that's because back then there was a Lego store, like one of the only Lego stores in all the United States. Like there's like 8 of them total. One of them was here in LA. So it's like one of the oldest ones. So I would see it every occasionally I'd walk by them in the mall and I'll look at it and I just don't want to go in because it reminds me of that loss. But I remember seeing like Cafe Corner. I remember seeing Green Grocer. I remember seeing the first UCS Snowspeeder. Like I was like, wow, that's really cool. But I was like, I don't want to bite that bullet. Then, so that was the beginning of my dark age when I lost it all.
Okay, man.
But
you know what?
Now I have some of those sets. I haven't tried to obtain. Like I bought back Fort Lego Radio. I bought back the Black Knight Fortress. So I've been slowly obtaining sets that I remember. There are some sets I can't not afford or can't feel like I need to bite the bullet, like the battle packs, the castle packs.
Sure.
I don't know. I can't justify that.
You're the I'm going to say the third person. I just had Isaiah's Ultiverse last
Mm.
week. Same, he had the same issue with storage unit, and then there was one other person that same thing. And it's like it's such a shame. Like you're doing that and hoping that's your stuff's just safe there to stay, and then it's just like the stuff out of nowhere comes in and really upend you, and it's a shame. But at least you're able to get some of the stuff back that you had that you remembered. So.
I mean,
Now, did
technically, I can
you?
afford to buy them all now. I just choose not to.
Well, no, and I get that. Now, did you have any siblings?
No, no, I
Okay,
have two half brothers and sisters on each side, but between my parents, I'm the only child.
okay, gotcha. All right. Um, so then, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you're a big modular guy.
Yeah,
I know it's behind you, but are you able to maneuver at all to share for those who haven't
yeah.
seen?
There you go. There it is. There's the city,
That is
and then
quite impressive.
yeah, it's pretty dope. It looks better at night when I turn everything off. It's just there we go.
That's awesome. Now, is there anything in there that's not lit up yet?
Just Tudor Corner, which is on the work desk.
Yes, which I watched the video on YouTube last week, and I
Oh,
want to
thank you.
talk to you about. I want to talk to you about that.
Go, let's go.
um, Now, obviously, it's on YouTube. Are you okay
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I ask you a couple things? Okay,
Go for it.
so um, your ranking system. So, give me some insight on how you rank modulars.
Okay. Yeah. So most people just do interior and that's exterior and that's pretty
Yeah.
much it, right?
Yep.
So I do exterior, interior, playability, and story and playability are kind of the same thing. So interior, exterior, playability, and
Okay.
purpose. So
Okay.
you look at Cafe Corner, Market Street, and Greengrocer, empty interiors. They're not
Yep.
going to score high.
Yep.
Although, you know, the reason why a lot of people like those sets so much is because they're OGs.
The OGs. Yeah.
But if you look at it, like in comparison to one of the newer modulars, technique wise, it's
Yes.
just bricks.
Yeah.
It just looks really rudimentary.
Yep.
But it's cool for what it was at the time, and it has its hype because it's hard to
Yeah. Sure.
obtain. But like the better modulars are more recent.
Yep. Agreed. Now, uh, for the rankings, like, do you find yourself ever
Oh,
changing them like year by
occasionally.
year? Because I forget his name, the one guy that was on the video that was talking on when you were on the phone, like how he was,
Kiwi?
saying different things about how he
Yeah.
changes it. How often, like, do you literally just look at them once a year, and like, do you just start from scratch and not look at your old list, or will you look at an old list and then kind of like shuffle things around?
I start from scratch.
Okay.
So, but
Yep.
the thing is, I've done it every year. So, like, I
Memory.
already know where Market Street's gonna fall. Right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always gonna be
Yep.
the last one. Rest in peace to the designer and everything. If you know his story, but it's always gonna be the last one. Cafe Corner, Greengrocer are not too far behind, like
Mhm.
close to that. Pet shop, bookshop. I'm not a fan of those either, so they tend to be lower. But I always look at it with a blank slate from the very get go. The past two rankings with this one and the one I did before, they're exactly the same because I did the other modular ranking like almost
Yeah. Yeah.
summertime, so
Yep.
really
Yep.
not much has changed. But Assembly Square, Parisian Restaurant have always been near the top. They've always
Agree.
bounced back with 1, 2. I think this past year, like Police Station got up there because I don't know. I just really love. I just really love what it is. And then now all of a sudden we got Tudor Corner, and that kind of just threw a wrench out of everything. So for the
Yep.
first time in like the entire time I've been doing this, like Parisian Restaurant and Assembly Square have been knocked out from the top.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Emily kind of messed up how I viewed Assembly Square with filler modular thing. Because when she said that, when we did it the first time, I couldn't unsee it.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
So now we know who to blame for that
Yeah,
then.
but Emily on that one, she knows it. So,
In relation to the modular, so I did not know. First of all, I didn't know the Market Street designer had passed away. But that's what I was going to ask
he
you.
never actually saw the set come
Oh,
like
I
on.
didn't know that. I did
Yeah,
not know that. Interesting. Okay.
it sucks. It's a pretty tragic story.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I never in all my research on modulars, I never came across that. So it's interesting you brought that up. So I appreciate you telling me that. Um, do you do you technically consider it part of the official?
Yes. Okay, so
I needed you to say no there because I'm a
no,
completionist.
no. Okay, so okay, as I get it. A lot of people don't want to consider Market Street a part of the marginal line because they don't want to get it. And I was on that same boat for a very, 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 very long time. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a part of the margin because I don't want to spend. Like, okay, so just to put in perspective of how much this set is worth, it retailed for $79.99, so $80, I think, around when it
I
retailed
didn't
out.
know that either.
So
Jeez.
when brand new in the box, I think it's worth more than Cafe Corner. Like, it's ridiculous. So
Okay.
the
Yeah.
the return on that buy is probably the best one out of every single modular. And why? Like, I have no idea why. And then um, if I tried piecing it together, I think like 3 years ago,
Yep.
and at the time it ranged anywhere between $300 and $400 to piece together on Bricklink, and I should have done it then.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, when I just recently did it earlier this year, or like later last year, oh no, sorry, the year before last year,
Yeah.
2023, like
Okay.
I spent about like $650 total to
Okay.
piece it together. That's everything with
Yeah.
shipping and
Okay.
different stores like that. And then at the same time, you can go on eBay and there are people that are selling the whole thing because they're piecing together on Bricklink too, and you can just
Yeah.
buy it around the same price. So you can do one or the other. I should have just done that. I would have done it much faster. But as far as it being a part of the modular line, if you look at the video that I did before this modular one, when I'm like, is it worth buying every
Oh
single Lego
yeah.
modular?
Yep.
So that video, I kind of like really like settled into, is this really a modular? So when I was doing the research about it, I mean, if Jamie Berard says it's a modular, it's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
modular. You can't
Yeah.
really say anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have the five mini modulars. It's a part of it. The assembly square, it's mentioned in the assembly square. There's like a little tiny piece of it. You saw it. It's on the
Yep.
apartment complex.
Yep.
The three sets are right there. It's a part of the anniversary build. It's in the five miniature builds, and then James Berard says it's a modular, so
It's
you
more.
can't really deny
Yeah.
that. Who's gonna
Ah,
tell the
man.
Godfather that this is not a modular? And he's like, it is.
You're killing me here.
Yeah, but so a lot
Not
of people think like it's like the Bricknick Designer Program. What it is back then, it is now. But
true. Yeah.
eh,
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, um, good question that popped up. What's the highest cost piece for Market Street on Bricklink?
it's like the tubes. It's like
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yep.
it's like where the droid arms connect the
Yeah. Yeah.
tubes.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
It's really not that bad. It's the minifigures and the tubes and like some of the grocery pieces. It's
Okay.
really not too bad.
Okay. Interesting. I mean
Yeah,
that
I don't know why it's so much.
that I would say that price you said. I mean, when you look at the prices that you can buy them for, I mean, it really isn't bad to piece it together. Um, does
That
that?
I mean, in comparison to Green Grocer, yeah, that's a lot easier to piece together.
Yeah. Now, as a completionist, that doesn't bother you if it's not like straight from the box.
No,
Okay.
as long like I even think how the people like Green Grocer, what really makes that set expensive is the 1x2
Yep.
modular piece.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of people use the masonry bricks, and in my opinion, I think that looks a lot better than the indented 1x2.
Yeah.
And just that one piece alone is like ridiculous, and you can't really afford that. Like, so anyone that has a Green Grocer and substitute pieces to make it what it is, I still think you have the Green Grocer.
Yeah.
So because it's not one for one out of the box, I mean, that's kind of not fair to say that you don't have the Green Grocer when it's literally sitting in front of you.
Yeah. 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 No. Hey. Hey. If we can get Jamie to say that too, I think that would help a lot of people. That's your that's your challenge for 2025.
Right? That'd be challenge accepted. Challenge
Oh,
accepted. I'm
that
gonna remember that.
I will keep reminding you because I would love to see the thoughts on
Yeah.
that. All right, so obviously you have other shelves around you as well. What would be some of your other favorite sets or favorite themes that you enjoy building?
Well, as far as themes, I don't really have a favorite theme. Like
I mean,
I guess a lot of people equate me to like castle because of my like castle armies, but I'm a Lego army builder. Like I like to, if I see a figure or if I see a set, if I can make it multiples, what any way possible, I'm gonna do it. So like, a lot of people like to think of my Black Falcon army and like, my Lionite army. Let's see what else. My most recent Imperial Guard army and my clone army as like all I have. But I also have like a minion army. It's stupid. I never released it. But like I also like when I'm on Bricklink, if I see a store with a Jurassic World guard, you know what I'm talking about, like the ACMU guys. Like I'll wipe them out completely because they're cheap. They're like $3, $2 a piece per minifigure, and I have like a whole company worth.
That's
like size worth of them just kind of standing there. Like I just have an obsession with battle formations. That's just my thing.
That's really cool though. What's like the biggest display that you've ever had? Like to get like, have you ever put multiples together?
So my biggest display that I've ever done was at Brickworld Chicago. It was of my Black Falcon army with the Castle Basan in the background. I haven't really touched it in about a year. Like I haven't upgraded any of it. But there's a whole storyline behind that series. Like if you watch the Lionite army video, like at the end there's like a little story that's happening with the Lionites getting ambushed by the enemy, and the enemy is like 2,000 skeletons. I have 1,500 right now. I'm gonna get 2,000 skeletons. So as I progress in building up my Black Falcon army, because right now all you've seen is 1,100 on YouTube, but eventually you'll see the whole 2,100. When I get to the 2,100 point, as far as the series goes, that's when you'll see this. That's when I'll start building the giant clash, the giant battle versus Black Falcons with like their allies, like with the Wolf Pack, the Forestmen, Lion Knights, whatever I can scrounge up to make giant armies of versus the skeletons. So I don't know if I'm ever going to take that to a convention because that's a lot to do.
That's a big space to take. Yeah.
Because my Black Falcon army already took up two 3x6 tables. So if I need like 3 times as much to be able to do something like that. And at Brickworld Chicago, I don't think they're so willingly, able to give space so easily like that nowadays. So
hey, I'll open an invitation to you. So it's not as big as Brickworld. It's probably not as big as much anything, but out here in Pittsburgh, the lug that I'm in, the Steel City lug, each January at the end of January, we have International Lego Day. We take up the whole center court of the local mall where the Lego store is, and I mean it's a pretty big center court. But as a lug member, you can reserve table space. Next year in January, I'll invite you, and that can be your invitation to Pittsburgh. You bring your stuff out to Pittsburgh.
Is there a guard going to be watching over these?
No, you know what? I would pay for a guard to stay overnight to watch those.
I was saying, because little sticky fingers can reach in and get a minifigure, and I wouldn't notice. So.
Oh man, I tell you, that would be really cool to see in person. I mean, because when you see stuff on videos, like it looks cool, but when you see something in person, I mean, it's 1,000 times better than what things look like. So, well, think about that. Just keep it in mind. January of 2026. All right. So last Lego-ish kind of question for you. If you let's go non-army building style. If you had a theme or a set that you would build, free reign, what would you build?
A giant
something. A giant. Okay. Yeah. Hey, that's okay. So how giant?
Probably around like 5 feet, like long. Ish, if I can do it. Yeah. I've always wanted to build like a spacecraft of that size. I just don't know where to begin and where to put it.
Color scheme. What colors would you do?
Gray. I know gray will be the main. It's gonna be like mainly white, gray, and some sort of like friend, like accent color, whether that be the purple or the teal.
Okay.
Or orange.
How can we figure out how to create one of those giant dome pieces for you just to put over top of the spaceship?
I don't know.
You might have to brick build something.
Yeah, right. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, we could all, see how much Lego would charge to put that through the production facility.
Hey, I love bulk, right?
Yeah, there you go. See, that's good stuff, isn't it? Um, all right, so social media. So let's go into that aspect of your life here. So, a little research I did. So you were basically in 2019 for both YouTube and Instagram. Um, So, what was your goal or what was your focus when you started? Like, did you have a clear direction or were you just kind of like, I'm going to get into social media?
That the later. I wasn't
The-
really have so like I never really took it seriously until like probably like 2 years ago. Like I was always like kind of creeping in the background in the chat of people's chats, right?
yeah, okay.
So I wasn't really doing anything with it. I like to make videos, but not for YouTube. Like I did more of like cinematic type
Okay.
stuff with like motorcycles and my military stuff. So, but I never really made a YouTube video, and I didn't really know how to do it. But I remember I used to watch Brickatech a lot, and then he just said, just start a channel to his
Sure.
followers, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. So I started a channel, and there's this kind of, like now people are able to put a face to my name when I would type in the chat on YouTube
Yep.
or Google Hangouts. People were when all those back then. That was before Instagram Lives.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, that I just grassroots level. That's just how I started. And after a while, just like, okay, maybe I don't like putting crap on there. Like, let me put some effort into it. And
Sure,
I
yeah.
didn't have like a story of what I want, like the niche of the Lego community that I was kind of dealing with until I kind of discovered uh making Brickmania content, like
Okay.
military Lego content.
Yep.
I was just like, oh, well, no one's really doing this. Let me do
Yeah.
that. I was buying a lot of military Lego stuff anyways. It makes sense with my background. And then that's pretty much what I was known for back then. It just didn't have a big reach because not a lot of people look into that type of
Yeah.
stuff. Inevitably, it just became like, okay, these are getting really pricey, and I don't want to keep buying all these expensive sets. And I've already purchased everything that I would ever want
Sure.
in military form from Lego.
Okay.
So like I have all the jets or the vehicles that I've experienced with, like the F-18s.
Yep.
All the like Brickmania made me as a minifigure and my
Okay.
unit and artillery, so that's kind of cool. So all these tanks and all, I have everything I would ever want.
Yeah.
So there really isn't anything that they can make that would be like, whoa,
Sure.
over. So, and that goes with any other company. So I kind of eased off a little bit on that, and then I discovered like making army videos, and I think that's where mainly I kind of run with, and
Yeah.
also the modular stuff. Like I always love building city stuff. So like that's never a constant. That's always like a once a
Yeah.
year thing or
Yeah.
something big happens. But like, it's hard to be a city YouTuber because like you could only do so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 I get you there.
yeah. So
Now-
um as far as my channel goes, like I really don't know. Like I have a goal, but I don't have a goal. Like I'm not trying to be the biggest YouTuber out there.
yeah.
Like it's not my gig. Like it's my hobby. I come here to escape. I make videos to escape. I come to the Lego community because it's the most positive community out there for me. Like anyone who knows me, veteran community, and then the MC world, the motorcycle club world, they're not friendly, and it's very
Yeah.
dangerous. So I don't have to watch my back at like here. Like I can
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like I am here. I don't have to like be all hard and like show a front. So I felt very comfortable in this space. So that's the reason why I like to gravitate here, and I don't want it to be like a job where
Yeah.
I need to figure out like money to survive.
Yep.
I just want to make videos that I like and then post it out there. So right now that's just, I guess, my city ranking. It's not constant. I'm doing the opposite of what I should be doing as a content creator for YouTube. Like I should like my army video should be on one channel. Like my city video should be on another channel.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be a hodgepodge of all this whole stuff. My military stuff should be on another
Sure.
channel. But right now I just put it all on one channel, and then my podcast is on a separate
Yep.
channel. My vlog is now on a separate channel. I haven't done anything in a year for my vlog, but it's on its own channel. So I did separate those aspects from the channel away from what Shy Time is My Time is. So See on the Stoop, it's on its own thing.
Yep.
So I started taking what I'm doing here seriously because of Cali Brick Click and Sitting on the Stoop.
Yep.
So with those two podcasts, that's when I started looking into the content that I'm making and pushing out there, because when we were doing Cali Brick Click, my content was But then we were starting to like interview and communicate with all these creators within the Lego space. And, you know, it was a lot of it was like kind of social media focused. So taking things that I've learned from them and applying it to my own, like I shouldn't have crappy content if I'm learning,
Sure.
getting advice from all these people. So I started applying, you know, what works for me into those things. And yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Now, so I was actually going to bring those up. So, you look like Cali Bricklick and then Sitting on a Stoop are about like 2 years apart. Um, can you just, for those that don't know what those are, can you just give like a little insight on what those two podcasts are and maybe like how they're different from one another?
Yeah. Cali Brick Click was with Claire the Plastic Architect and Ninja with the Bricks. You know, we were all from Cali. Claire moved away. So that's why it's called Cali Brick Click. And it kind of started during COVID times, and this is when everybody was home. So I was influenced by MR Productions podcast. Um, I forgot I forgot the name of it. But he had a podcast and it would happen every Sunday and kind of disappeared. And
Okay.
then there wasn't really anything like that at the time.
Sure.
So I was just like, let's just bring this back because I missed this. So that's what it was. It was just a constant show that happened every week. That wasn't live, so it was definitely edited. We bring in guests, and then we kind of just talk about whatever the conversation was, and it would end. But it was a constant thing for almost 3 years.
Okay.
So yeah, it started in like 2021.
21. Yep.
Yeah,
I creeped.
yeah. So almost 50 years. I mean, it was really hard to do. Like it was like you know, trying to push out the episode by Friday, recording it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and doing all this editing.
Sure.
That's pretty much, it was just a drain. So we sunsetted that. We kind of went our separate ways. We're all still friends, but we all kind of went our own ways with the podcast stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that to end as far as me communicating with people within the community, like exactly what you're doing. Yep. I enjoyed this aspect, this back and forth that I have right now. I enjoyed that the most than what the guest was providing as far as what we could benefit from, right? As far as the information or who they are. I just enjoyed talking to people. If we go to a convention, I enjoyed talking to people.
I know. I'm feeling you.
There you go. I mean, I know you get it. So like, but I didn't want that to end. But I was like, by that time, you know, there was already other shows just like ours, but you know, they have their own spin to it. Like they were live, like London Calling. They've been going around for a long. He's been going around for a long time. A couple of Brickheads just popped off like around the end of ours. You know, you had Good Morning Brick World, same thing, and amongst many others. Now there's a bunch, which is great. Like you can tune in everywhere. There's so many, and you can pretty much fill up your whole roster throughout the week of TV guys of all these shows they can tune into, which is amazing. I figured, what can I do differently than all these shows? And I figured, well, I love doing podcasts. Let's do a proper podcast when we actually sit face to face together. And then, like just communicate that way. And there is a big difference between talking to someone face to face than it is over the screen, like across the country like we are doing now. Like when I did, well, like right now we're live, so I could say something totally bad and mess everything up. But with Cali Brick Click, I could edit it out. With Sitting on a Stoop, I could still do the same thing, but we definitely can feed each other's each other's energy more because we're right next to each other. Versus kind of having this little barrier between us at the moment. So I figured let's start that, and I have the connections to kind of make it happen. I had the equipment to make it happen. So let's just see how far I can go. And I was pretty ambitious by trying to get as many episodes as I could. I thought it was going to be a more of an opportunity type of thing. Like if you're just here, like for example, Katie, she was here. Hey, you want to shoot a Sitting on a Stoop? But yeah, I overstretched myself. I got more episodes than I'm able to edit, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just now some of these are kind of getting dated because I can't edit them fast enough to be able to put it out there. So Sitting on a Stoop, again, it's just an easy back and forth conversation with no agenda from the very get-go. It's as if we're sitting on our porch, kind of just BSing about life. That's the concept of that. Sometimes like something happens in the community, and it's happened once where this creator was taking content ideas like verbatim script and like video. It was happening to him, and luckily that creator lived near me, so I'm like, yo, you want to sauce it up? Let's talk about this. So that was an opportunity that was like, okay, like let's hype on that movement. But for the rest of it, it's like I'm in the area, let's record.
Yeah, no, I definitely I wish I had like I feel like the Lego in the like the northeastern part of the country is just like non-existent like in my area. Like we have one Lego store and there's nothing else probably within like a couple hour drive. And so like we don't get any special visits around here. Like we did have Manny and his dad from Lego Masters here at Brickfest Live. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So it's like I don't really have many options, and so that's what I like. I was trying to think of ways to like get the community involved, and like I told you before, especially people that might not have the high follower accounts, trying to get them into the spotlight. Yeah, Matt will visit me, but yeah, it's just it's nice to talk to people because that's how I love to connect and I love to learn about people. So I wish I was close by because I would, if I was ever invited, I would stop on the street.
If you ever meet you, yeah, I'll probably bother you about that. But like, you be on the East Coast is not a bad thing. You have Brickford, Virginia. You
Yes,
have you
yes,
have
yep,
Brickworld, Chicago is not too far. I
yep.
mean, you have most of the Lego population that's online is on that side of the country. So you have all the conventions. So I am envious of you. You might not have any Lego stores or BAMs so as much as we do, but here we have a ton of Lego stores. Like literally, I have like 4 within driving distance, and then I have like 7 BAMs within driving distance. But there isn't a close knit community
Okay,
as
yeah,
there
yeah.
is on the East Coast.
Well,
So,
again, I don't have any of that. I'm in that little slice that's got. It's like a little bit west of me and a little bit south. I'm okay, but right where I am, there's not much. So
plant a flag.
yeah, hey, I guess I'll take that as my challenge to bring it here. So. All right. I wanted to talk about because I saw something else you do. You do charity work.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit? What you do with charity?
Sure. So yeah, I always feel weird about talking about it, but like I want to bring it up because people who've given me these large donations, like I'll share it because I want them to see that it
Yep.
went to the places that you intended it to go, and you don't see that your efforts not missed. So like for example, last year I didn't share anything
Okay.
because I didn't get anything large from anybody.
Sure.
It was all me. But for what I do, every year I try to donate as much Lego as I can to an organization. And a couple years I did it for Hillsides here
Yes.
in Pasadena, California.
Yep.
And
Okay.
they deal with at-risk youth,
Okay.
a lot of them. So kids without parents who are in the system, who are hiding from people because they're in a dangerous family or whatever, obviously, or have mental issues or need
Sure.
help and attention, all these different things, hidden disabilities, all that stuff. So the Lego, I've been doing toy runs since I was in the Marine Corps, um, to the biker community, and every time I've done a toy run, there's never a Lego
Yeah.
set, never.
Yep.
Lego's expensive, so even when my motorcycle club does toy runs, we don't go to Toys R Us, KB toy stores, or any of those nice toy stores that you can get, or Walmart, all kind of stuff. We go to the 99-cent store
Yeah.
and get as much Lego as we can for
Yep.
$10 because that can go a
Yeah.
long way.
Yep.
And occasionally buy like a bicycle or two, but like buying Lego is just not feasible to
No.
be able to donate so many
Nope.
times. And I see a lot of people are trying to do it now, which is great, but they're putting a lot of money in for like $600 for like 20, 15 sets, small ones, or
Yeah.
the 3 big ones. So it doesn't really go that far. So, I just made it a mission that if I'm gonna raise toys, I'm gonna just start from January 1st all the way up until the end day, and then I just donate as much as I can. So for me, my goal is to have enough Lego sets for 80 families.
Oh
So that's
wow. Okay.
one Lego set for 80
Wow.
families. That's a good goal. I mean, ranging from something that's like $9.99 all the
Sure.
way up to like 300. So it kind of fluctuates. And I'm really, so when I'm looking for these sets, I'm really looking for deals. So I'm like Prime Days,
Yeah.
Costco end runs. We have this like liquidation store like somewhere here in the valley. They have me on phone like, hey, we got like sets for
Oh,
here. You want?
nice. Okay.
So I try to get to them now, and that's a lot harder now because we have all these
Yeah.
BAMs and they try to swoop all them up.
Yeah.
So like for me, I have memberships on my channel, so any money that I get from memberships goes straight to buying the set.
Oh,
So
nice.
I make $20, I buy a $20 set for that month. I make $50, I buy a $50 set. So that's where that goes. So it's easy to get to that point if if you spread it out within 12 months.
Sure.
Sometimes my motorcycle club helps me out because they can see where I'm at with my goal, and it'll be, here's a couple of G's, just go get what you need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get.
Okay.
So yeah, so getting stuff from like gift for purchases that
Yeah,
helps. So
yeah, yeah, yep. No, I did see the with the Tudor Corner with the sunflower lanyards.
mhm.
Yeah. So was that like was that something that they knew about when you took the Tudor Corner to build with the gentleman that you built with over at I know you said the
Hillside,
name of the yeah, yeah.
Hillsides.
Was that something they were
I,
aware of?
so for me to film like that, so I can't film children
Yeah.
obviously, and I don't want to. But to me, filming them it's not a hassle. It was really hard
Okay.
because I mean I don't like to film people that don't want to be
Yeah, yeah.
filmed. So like I ask, they're always hesitant about it. I'm like, yo, let me talk to Andrew. He's done this before. And then I
Yeah.
have to tell them what it meant. And they're like, okay, cool. So no, they did when I came to it about it, they were kind of oblivious to it.
Okay.
I didn't really dive deep into it. I just kind of told them what it is and why I'm doing it. But
Okay.
there weren't. I mean, they have their own thing that they're dealing with, and they're helping me as much as I'm helping them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was more like it's a mutual
Okay.
mutual thing there.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I was just curious how, like, if how the promotion of it, because I Lego did promote that somewhat. I don't. I was curious how, like, how far the reach was of the promotion of
I
that.
mean, it mainly came from land members pushing it
Okay.
out, and obviously you see it in like blogs and stuff like that because land members push it out. That was my way of pushing it out
Yeah.
was through
Okay.
that. So like, you know, I don't think there's a little bit of that you'll see on the website, but it wasn't like this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm still like unsure about how that really does anything, but
Yeah. Okay.
I'm dealing with I'm doing that too, but in a different way
Yeah.
with my communities that I deal with.
Okay. All right. So before I wrap up, conventions in 2025. What are your plans? Are you heading anywhere this year?
Yeah, well, 2025, I have Brickworld Chicago locked. I just got to buy the plane tickets.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Not, I might be driving, so I might not buy plane tickets. But the hotel's
Okay.
locked. Tickets are locked. I'm there Tuesday to Monday. I'm supposed to go to Atlanta BrickCon. I
Okay.
haven't really purchased anything. I probably should get on that. And I think that's where it's going to be. I might do Brick Slopes, so we'll see. So those three conventions, 2 out of 3 will definitely be a
Okay.
positive.
What days did you say you'll be at Brickworld?
Tuesday to Monday.
Okay. I will see you there.
There we
So
go.
that's gonna be here before you know it.
Uh,
I mean,
it's too
January is
quick.
gonna be half over here, and then
Oh yeah, don't remind me how fast the
no,
year goes.
no, I know, and it's nice to have things to look forward to, but then it all it does obviously make the time go a lot faster. So,
Mhm.
anything since this is your spotlight, anything you want to share that I missed, or anything you want to promote real quick?
No, I guess thanks for having me on here. I love this interaction.
I appreciate you coming.
I like being on the other end of this sometimes.
Yeah,
It makes me like I don't have to think,
yeah,
so I can just kind of let you take reign of this
yeah,
conversation instead of me trying to like make sure it moves.
yeah, yeah. Well,
um, Thank you
no,
for
hey,
letting me experience
I
that.
I seriously appreciate you getting back to me and willing to hop on here. And then yeah, I guess maybe I will get to meet you at Brickworld. So I'll keep you posted on
Not a maybe, just come
definitely.
see me
Oh
first.
yeah, I'm not going to be one of those. Katie actually was talking about that. How she has the people that instead of just coming up to her and talking to her, they're like they message her like an hour later, like, "Hey, I saw you at the store today."
I got a lot of that like this past Monday or this past release day.
Oh, did you?
I got like 2 messages like, "Hey, I saw you in line." I'm like, "You didn't say hi."
Yeah, yeah. No, you should be able to tell. I'll just come up and say hi. So, all right, Shot. I really appreciate your time tonight. I look forward to meeting you here in June, and then yeah, maybe we'll see each other down the road for something
Yeah,
else.
sure.
So, okay, all right. Well, hey, have a good weekend, and I wish you the best in 2025.
You too. Thank
So,
you for
all
having me.
right. Thanks for
All
stopping. We'll see you.
right.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys. All right. Bye bye.